Hi everybody, it's Fiona Murray here from the Eat, Train, Glow programme and Physical Nutrition. Today we're talking about fats. So fats were demonised for a very, very long time. We were trained, years ago, decades ago, that fats were bad for us and we were to eat lots of carbohydrates and keep the fats down in our diet, otherwise we'd get heart disease and diabetes. It's actually been proven that it's the opposite. So fats are back on trend. It's been pretty much the advent of the low-fat, high-carb diet was a health disaster. From then on in, the diabetes rates and the heart disease rates just went absolutely through the roof. So it has been recognised by most people that the high-fat, low-carb diet is definitely a better option for things like diabetes and the heart disease. Fats are very, very important. They're part of our phospholipid bilayer, so that layer that goes around our cells made up from fats is used to make the sheath around our nerves. It's used for muscle contraction and we store vitamins and minerals in it. It does lots and lots and lots of different things. It has a pro-inflammatory or an anti-inflammatory effect, especially some types of fats compared to others. They're very calorie rich. For 1 gram of fat, you've got 9 calories compared to protein and carbohydrates. For 1 gram of them, you've only got 4 calories. But fats means satiety. So when you eat fats, you get full. And that means that you're not hunting around looking for sugar an hour or two later. But like I said, not all fats are made equally. So first of all, we have things like trans fats. So trans fats are predominantly manufactured, and you do get some naturally in nature, but it's the manufactured ones that are the big problem. They are made from partially hydrogenated fats, and they are manufactured, and so it's pretty much taking a liquid fat and making it into solid. So things like margarine. Those things have been proven to be really, really detrimental for health, and they've got a very strong link to cancers and heart disease. We want to keep them out of the diet as much as possible. In Australia, unfortunately, they're still used quite predominantly in the diet, but lots of places like Europe and that, they've actually been limited or actually, they're not allowed to be put in food anymore. So trans fats are things like I said, your margarines, and you'll find them in all your processed foods like your cookies and your cakes and, all that kind of stuff. So stay away from all that kind of junky food that you don't know what's in it. It might be very high in trans fats. And then we have saturated fats. So saturated fats, again, were very, very much demonised, but it's since been recognised that a high intake of saturated fats really isn't that bad for us at all. So saturated fats are predominantly found in our meats. We've got things like coconut oil, butter, and these things are okay in moderation. So I would say for saturated fats, you don't want to go absolutely crazy with them, but you definitely want to make sure that they're in the diet. And then we have monounsaturated fats, and that's things like your avocado, your olive oil, your nuts and seeds, all been proven to be very, very, very good for health. Monounsaturated fats have a very anti-inflammatory effect in the body, whereas things like your saturated and your trans fats are very pro-inflammatory. So it's like red meat, for example, has got a high level of arachidonic acid, which is a omega-6 inflammatory fat. Whereas your monounsaturated fats just keep that inflammation down. So we want to be having lots of things like olive oil, or nuts and seeds, avocado, and all that kind of stuff in our diet. We also want to make sure that we've got lots of omega-3s in our diet. So the Western diet is very, very rich in omega-6 compared to omega-3. And we really want them on a 1-to-1 comparison, but at the moment it's about a 10-to-1 comparison. So our omega-6s, again, very rich in our meats, but also very high in things like grains. Omega-3 fatty acids, very high in our oily fish. So our oily fish have the EPA and DHA, which are the omega-3 derivatives. Both of them have very anti-inflammatory effects. So your omega-6s, a bit more from your grains, some of your oils, they would cause a major problem. They would cause a pro-inflammatory effect. So the problem with the Western diet is we're eating too many grains and too much red meat and not enough oily fish and our fruit and vegetables and our avocados and our olive oil, very much based on more of our Mediterranean style diet. So those are our fats. So the takeaway from this should be, please include fats in your diet. fill up on your fats rather than filling up on your refined carbohydrates. It has been shown that many people will actually reduce their cholesterol by upping the fats and reducing the refined carbohydrates in their diet. So what happens with the refined carbohydrates is they are converted to LDL cholesterol by the liver. So it's not actually fats half the time that are causing the problem with cholesterol. It's actually the blood glucose levels caused by refined carbohydrates. So we want to be eating lots and lots of oily fish, 2 or 3 times a week, oily fish, our olive oils, our nuts and seeds, all those beautiful healthy fats. Stay away from the trans fats, stay away from the processed foods and the junk foods, and limit your red meat to twice a week. Red meat has been shown to increase the risk of bowel cancer if you eat it more than twice a week. And that is very, very well researched and very, very well proven. The World Health Organization has actually announced the fact as well. And stay away from your processed meats as well, again because they are carcinogenic. They increase the risk of bowel cancer. So we want lots of oily fish, lots of avocado, nuts and seeds, and all those great fats like your olive oil, and stay away from the nasties. Okay, I hope you find that useful. See you later.